Hello friendships, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be the look that we're doing today. It is a green spotlight eye with a really nice bright red lip. Red lipstick is literally my favourite colour to wear. Anyway, a couple of things I want to quickly address before we start the video. If, once I don't have any makeup on, I happen to have a grey cast down the side of my face, it's because I dyed my hair today. And as you can tell by looking at my hands, it has also dyed my nails. So if you notice that through the video, just to explain why. So usually I end up with a red ear and then I end up with a kind of grey ear. So just in case you guys spot that through the video, that is why. But if you want to learn how to do this look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so we're primed. We are good to go. The first colour we are going to be taking, so we're going to be working with two different palettes today. We're going to be working with the Melt Cosmetics Radioactive palette and the Jeffree Alien palette. The first colour we're going to take is going to be Neon, which is a bright yellow. So let's pop right there. So like we're already primed and ready to go on our eyeball. I'm going to take a kind of fluffy brush, dip into our yellow there and start pressing that into place, and then afterwards we'll go in and we'll buff it out. This one hair, I don't know what it is, I've got this one hair at the front of my head that always wants to sit right in my eye. Like, what's that? You guys maybe can't see it, but I certainly can. So we have our yellow pressed on. Now we're going to just kind of gently go in and buff it out. So we are there, and now I'm going to grab, I actually got all my brushes ready today and I've forgotten to ready one of them. Right. I'm just going to take Titan from the Jeffree palette and just gently kind of press that just on the outer portion of the eye. Okay. So next colour is going to be Xenon. Actually, we'll go with Xenon next. No, you know what we'll do is we'll do Abduction from the Alien palette. It's like a lime green, and then we'll do Xenon after that. So you probably cannot even tell that I've just been out. We'll go in with Xenon now. My goodness. Whew. Okay. So we have our green in place, and we're going to take Flying Saucer, which is it's like a foresty green colour, darkish green. I'm not the best at describing colours, so going to go in with that, and that's what's going to deepen our crease area. And because we're going to do a spotlight, we want to make sure it's quite dark, sort of in the center area here, because that'll be where we're gonna cut it. Okay, so we're at this point now. What we're gonna do is take a kind of small fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in with the colour Ghost OG from the Alien palette. Now it's kind of an odd colour. It's definitely like a super dark green. It definitely has kind of a green tone through it, which is really nice for deepening up greens. Something I will say when you're using greens is they can be quite difficult to work with. It is a case of kind of going back and forth with your colours. Like I have just, when I looked up at the timer on the camera for a minute solid, I had been just going back and forth, possibly longer than that. Just going back and forth with like the lime sort of green colour and the dark green and the lime green, dark green, lime green. So just know that it'll take a little bit of kind of work, but don't worry about it because it will eventually all work out. Okay, cool. So we're here, and you're like, back at what's happening? What's going on? Where are you taking us with this? Next thing, our lovely P. Louise blank canvas yet again. We are going to use her to create our spotlight for this eye. Again, same thing as I've said before, we are loading up that brush both sides, pressing the product into the bristles. So we have pressed our product into the bristles, and now this is actually going to be really difficult to show you. If I hold my mirror there, one thing that I found quite useful for doing any sort of cut crease is if you hold your mirror down like this, you can still see yourself, but also it gives you the facility to be able to work on your eyelid without having your eyelash in the way. Because if you've got your, say you got your mirror here, for example, like a normal person would probably be using it, you've got eyelashes and they might get in the way, and like you kind of cover up your eye a little bit as well. Whereas if you just bring your mirror down so that it's, you know, I mean, you can see it's like there, it can make it easier to do. So I know some people will do a spotlight where they'll just do this little kind of like half moon in the center and then just make it work, like blend out the edges and stuff on either side. What I'm gonna do is kind of not like a trick way, but I guess technically a trick way, or it depends on how you look at it, of where we just do a full half moon on your face, on your eye. So I do always tend to start in the middle though. So again, looking into your mirror, just above where the natural crease is in your eye. And that's going to be kind of your starting point. So we're going to work with that so you can see it's kind of like a weird half moon situation. And you just want to go in, fill it in, kind of refine your edges, gently kind of patting your base into place. And then that'll be you ready to apply the next step of eyeshadow. Cool. So we are now here. We've got our little half moon shape, and this is when we're going to start to add in our colours to blend away this. So the first colour, the colour we're going to put in the middle is Pluto from the Alien palette. I'm just going to grab a little bit on my finger. I'm going to press that into the middle initially. So what this is going to do is give us a guide. So you want it to be kind of centered in your eye. So this is going to give us a guide for where we're going to put the rest of our colours. I'm actually going to grab a brush just do this little top edge here. So we are going to use that as our guide for where we need to blend things into. So the first colour we're going to take is our very deepest shade, which was that like kind of, I want to call it a murky green. That kind of really deep green, the Ghost OG colour. We're just going to take that on a little small brush. And we're going to press that into the inner corner and the outer corner, obviously to blend in, because we've got that kind of going around the edge. So that might look a little weird initially, but like I tend to say is that it'll look real regular when we're done. So we're going to take our brush that had the Flying Saucer colour, and that's going to be our next one. We're just going to pat that kind of over the top of that colour and then a little bit inwards. Okay, so my camera very rudely cut me off. What I was in the middle of saying was that we're a way to put on our lime green colour now. So I'm going to do a mixture of Abduction and Xenon together. So once you've got your lime green colour on, just going to go back in with a little bit of like our Flying Saucer colour. Oh, totally covering up my face there. Yeah, a little bit of our Flying Saucer colour. And again, it's kind of a case of going back and forth, blending away until you're happy. So I also just went back in and just added a tiny little bit more of that kind of the Pluto colour, because we'd lost it a little bit just with when we were blending our greens. Here we go. Lovely. I am actually going to take, oh, there's another brush I've forgotten to take out. Oh no, it's right here. This really teeny tiny, this one is actually a paintbrush, really teeny tiny little brush, and I'm going to take our Ghost OG colour again, and I'm just going to outline the very edge of where the cut crease is. I think I said it in my last video that although it may seem a little bit much to go back and outline it, but I think it makes a difference. So I always tend to do it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's just something that I like to do. It just means if you've used a shimmer, you know, if any of the shimmer has gone outside of your cut that you've made, you can kind of knock it off and like just refine it a little bit, that's all. Cool. So what I'm also going to do is put a liquid eyeshadow over the top of this. Now this one is, what's it called? Selenite by Beauty Bay. They did their own, like, they're kind of like the Stila liquid eyeshadows. They're really, really nice. Just pop a little bit on the back of your hand. I'm also going to do this on the inside corner as well. Excuse you. Being squeaky. I also didn't take a brush out for this. So I'm going to take a little bit of that just on a synthetic bristle brush. Should be synthetic. And then just press it over the top, just in the centre. What's really cool with this colour is like whatever you put it on top of, it almost like takes on like a shift of that colour. So like if you put this on top of like a pink, it takes on kind of a pinky shift. You put it on top of purple, it gives you more of a purpley sort of shift. It's really cool. So that is us. Let me come a little bit closer. That is us done for the eyeball. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you how to do a winged liner. This is going to be an interesting one to try and show. Obviously everyone will have like a way that they do it that they find easier. So I'm just taking stuff off the back of my hand because I have a habit of forgetting I have things in my hand and then doing this. Oops, my face is wet now. I did that in college a whole bunch of times and I ended up with makeup on my forehead. It makes you look stupid, whatever. But anyway, getting back to the matter at hand. So yeah, I'll try and show you how I do a winged liner. Anyway, everyone will do it differently. It's a case of practicing, finding out what works best for yourself. I'm not really sure how I'm going to show this, but what I always do, for ages I used to always say to start with your non-dominant side, so the side that you don't have your dominant hand on. So I would always start with my left hand side, and then it made the right hand side so much easier, and obviously it made you practice first your difficult side. Then I don't know what happened, but every time I did my left eye first, when I came to do it to my right eye, I always mess it up. No idea why. So I stopped doing that, and now I always do my right eye first, and everything seems to be okay with the left one. So start with whichever side you find easiest. What I tend to do is this one. What is this liner? This is the Revolution Pro, just a black kind of felt tip liner. I find them really easy. The NYX, the Epic ink liner is also really good as well. The one I had was faulty though, which is really annoying. Like loads of product used to always come out whenever I tried to use it. No idea why, but it is an amazing liner. It's like bristles rather than being like a felt pen, and it is just so smooth, so smooth. So let's get our concentrating face on. So I always do the outside line first. So starting from the outside corner of your eye and lifting up the way. I don't want to do a ridiculous liner with this because obviously I don't want to go too thick on the top because then we'll just cover up everything we just did. So yeah, do your outside line first, then I come into the inside corner of my eye. The first line you draw will not be perfect. And kind of do that, if you can see. Then I go back to the outside corner of the line that I initially made and then join the two of them together. And it's kind of your base shape that you want to work with. Fill that in and you can go in and kind of refine bits and you can make things a little bit thicker, and unfortunately it's difficult obviously to take away anything, so you gotta be bold with it. You gotta just go for it. But I'm going to fill this in and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. And we're finished. We're back. We're filled in. So this probably should be down there. This is what you're working with. Don't fret too much, particularly if you're putting lashes on, because a lot of your top line will end up being covered. Just a little hack for you there. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away, I will do my other eye, the rest of my face, and I'll come back and show you what to do on the bottoms of the eye. Hopefully this time I will be able to do it. Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, and we are back. So we have some lashes on. What I did was did the underneath of this eye, and then I'll show you how to do the underneath of this one. I just put a tiny little bit of black eyeliner just in my waterline, just because I don't really like doing that on camera. It's a bit gross to look at. So yeah, the first colour we're gonna take, where's that brush gone? Oh, it's here. First colour we're gonna take is Xenon again, which was our kind of lime green colour, and we're gonna, let me see, I'll pop this here, and we're gonna start with that. Make sure you're tapping off the excess. We don't want to get any fallout on the rest of our face. And we're just bringing that in and then leaving a little space in the centre. And what I did as well was I took a little makeup wipe and just cleaned up this edge here. I'm just going to kind of gently buff this to kind of meet the two together. Then we're going to take our Flying Saucer colour and just do the same thing, kind of put that in the same sort of area. Again, making sure to tap off so that we don't have any fallout on our face. You can see we're kind of starting to form just a small space just right in the centre there. And then we're going to go in with our darkest shade and just a small amount of that. Just on the kind of very, very inner portion of the eye. And the very outer portion. Cool, just like that. So you can see it just kind of adds a little bit of definition as well to the eye. I'm just going to go back in just a tiny bit, just with that green. Again, just to help with our kind of blending out. Then we will go in with, where's that brush? Here we go. With the Pluto colour again, just in a little flat brush. You could wet this if you wanted to, but because I'm going to put a liquid eyeshadow over the top, I just kind of want this as like a base. So just going to kind of tuck underneath your eyelashes and just press that on over the little centre area. There we go, just kind of blend that together. Then we're going to take, again, our liquid eyeshadow that we did in the centre of the eye before. And just a little, where's that brush? Here we go. I keep losing my brushes today, I don't know what is going on. So I'm just going to pop just a tiny little bit of that just over the top. Just make sure our eyes are nice and even. Lovely. And the other thing I'm going to take is this glitter that I have from when I used to work at Kiko. It is, which one is it? It's number 1. It shifts between, this is another colour that kind of takes on whatever colour you put underneath it, but it does mostly have a kind of green shift to it. I'm going to put just a tiny touch of that just on the inside, that inner corner there, and I put just a tiny little touch just underneath my eyebrow as well. I used to go kind of wild with this glitter, like when I was at work, I used to wear it as like a highlighter and stuff, and it's just such a nice colour, just picks up, like I said, whatever colour is underneath it, it usually picks up a sort of shift of that colour. At this point, we're pretty much done. Are we done? Yes, we are done. So we're going to take a little spritz of setting spray. I should have got her out. Oh god, I'm knocking everything over. Little spritz of setting spray. I just got the NYX matte finish. I usually have a fan I keep on my desk, but I have absolutely no idea what it is. Me and my husband moved house. I mean, it seems ages ago now, but it was February. But obviously all the coronavirus situation happened, and like half of our stuff is here, half of our stuff is still with his mum and dad because that's where we lived before we moved into our own house. So yeah, there's a fan somewhere in my possession. Right, so that is us finished. This is the finished look. A little green spotlight eye with a really nice red lip. What I'll do is I'll list down below everything else that I used on my face, including all the eyeshadows and stuff that I used on my face as well, and like lip products and face products and all that too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, hope you learned something today, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.